Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Ryan Saplin here, Fat Loss Strength Coach, coming to you today with a video about a client story. So, client story today, and the client story is, well, before I give you my client story, it's actually a really interesting one. There will be a link up here somewhere in case you'd like to subscribe to my email newsletter. I write daily emails. But back on topic, client story. So, I got fired today. I got fired by a client. And it's sort of interesting. I want to share it with you because it's cool. It's interesting because I don't typically get fired by a client. I'm really that good of a trainer, or maybe I don't take that many clients. I just haven't gotten fired in a really long time. So, and I'm at a point where I'm comfortable making videos about it. This is what he said while we were training, right? It's a guy. I don't get weight training. I see no application to anything outside of the gym. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. That's what he said. And since you are my channel and you guys are my viewers, and can you imagine what I felt like? Right? I'll repeat that. Let me repeat what he said. I don't get weight training. I see no application to anything outside the gym. Can you feel it? Can you feel yourself getting really upset? I don't know. Maybe I'm really off, but I can't tell. When he told me that, it was like he was insulting my wife. You know, weight training is like this second wife of mine, right? I love her. I get so much out of weight training. And he said that, and I was just like, oh my God, I want to punch you in the face. I got really upset. And then when I get mad nowadays, because I'm now older, I'm 33, so I'm not, I'm older, so I'm a little bit more composed about things. I don't just react. I actually think. I take a moment, take a deep breath, and think. We're training. And I don't know, he's not fully aware of kind of how I'm feeling, obviously, because it's there's a whole bunch of little social dynamic stuff going on that's a little bit hard to articulate. But I wanted to explain to you sort of my reaction, and that is, I sort of knew in my heart, based on my experience training people for the past 15 years, that he's already made up his mind. Now, I can go ahead and try to convince him otherwise, and if I was younger, I'll tell you right now that I would. And there was something mean I could have said that Nas, one of my podcast co-host on our podcast show, he said that I should have said, but I'm not going to say it here because it would be too offensive. And it's maybe if you email me, I'll tell you, right? Anyways, that's my point. So I'm telling you this because he says this to me, and I think for a moment, and what's the deal? Why is he feeling like this? Well, first of all, when you get mad or you get upset, you find yourself getting pissed off. This is what you do. Or I had two options, really. I can blame him and say that he has a crappy attitude. It's his fault for him having him being a P word. I'm not going to say the word. For me, myself, I can blame myself for not being motivating enough, for not doing a better job, for not being a good enough trainer. So those are the two situations. And can you guess that there's probably a better alternative, right? What is that third alternative? Blame him, blame myself, or is there another alternative? So this makes you think outside the box for a moment. And, before I start to want to say something mean or upsetting, I think about this quote. I think it's a Maya Angelou quote. It's like, people don't remember what you say, but they remember how you made them feel. And again, there's this part of me that just wants to like slap them upside the head, right? But I'm not that kind of a person, even though I want to be sometimes. The reality is that he's not my friend. This is business, right? And it's personal training. So I can't treat him like my friend. If he was my friend, I would be really mean. You have no idea how mean I would be. But because this is business, I have to be professional. So I have empathy. I listen to him. I try to relate a situation in my life to him. And I told him an experience I had that was similar. And that was in martial arts. Because I have to see his point of view, or try to anyway. Because, people want to be heard. People want to be listened to. And that's what I hope that you get a sense when you watch my channel. I'm not here to just blow smoke up your ass. I'm actually here to give you content. I'm here to essentially give you the voice that you don't have on the channel, on making YouTube channels, something that you want to hear. And I did martial arts. I got some sessions. I bought 24 sessions. I was training twice a week. And after about 16 sessions, I quit because I decided it wasn't for me. And yes, I'm a pussy. Yes, I'm a wuss. It just wasn't for me. I just like weight training more. That's really what it came down to. I was also training for a marathon at the time. This is like 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. But my point is that he fired me. He decided it wasn't for me. And it's so easy for me to go ahead and just take that so personally. And I think sometimes when we train and we work out, we can take our failure or our shitty training too personally. And I think it's okay. It's okay to take things personally because it just means that you care. But in social situations, it's a little bit different because when you're hard on yourself about weight training or about your work, maybe sometimes it doesn't have, you don't interact, like let's say your business or maybe a computer, you're working on a program or software or playing a video game or I don't know, something that's like inanimate, that's not, alive. It's so easy to just be mad at it and be mad at yourself. But in social situations, it doesn't play out really well, especially with women, right? Because women, even though men don't really even though I have trouble understanding women sometimes, and maybe you do too, realize that there is a lot going on that you can't see. Lots of exchanges of feelings, lots of nonverbal things that occur between different people. And, if there's one thing that women are really good at, even though you can't really tell sometimes, is they're really good at smelling fear. They're really good at smelling basically you being a pussy. Like that's basically what it is. If you think about a lot of it, we actually made a really good podcast, which I'm late to publish, but there's really great podcast on why men are pussies, or I should say why hot chicks dig assholes and not nice guys. Why nice guys finish last, basically, or why the nice guy sucks and why the asshole always gets a chick. And we made a podcast about it, and we're talking about this, and I'm losing my train of thought. So when it comes to women and smelling fear, they can smell and sense it. And it's not like, oh, that's fear. It's not like guys typically think 1 + 2 = 3, right? Or 1 + 1 = 2. Or that's fear. That guy's weak. That guy's strong. The thing with guys, what makes it difficult for guys to relate with women sometimes, or at least this is my analysis, is that women see more gray than men do. They see, I guess, a higher resolution of things. Whereas men tend to see a little bit more black and white. They're not quite black and white as far as like decision making, but then there's a lower resolution, if that makes any sense. And the thing about men, or just about these situations specifically, is that even though because we have a kind of a low resolution of things, it's easy for us to categorize things. Whereas women, they can't quite categorize it because they don't know what they're thinking. But they know what they're feeling, and they know they don't like somebody, or they know that person repulses them. And those are the things that make what attract women. So I'm a little bit off topic, but personal relationships, men's as friends, or girl on guy, or whatever. Oh my God, I'm gonna be going somewhere else now. But my point is that, where am I going with this? Is that it's so easy to get upset, right? It's so easy to get upset. And the thing is that it's okay to be upset, but understand why you're getting upset. Are you getting upset for reasonable reasons? And it's okay to be upset if you're not doing the job that you want to do. Like in my case, like in the past, if this was like 5 or 6 years ago as a trainer, or maybe 8 years ago, I would be like, man, I would take it so personal. I would believe that I have so many flaws as a trainer, and I would want to make myself better, which is actually not necessarily a bad reaction, but it can be, you can overcompensate too much. And when I'm sharing this with you is because it's okay to take things personally, but understand why you take it personal, and just understand yourself, because a lot of time, just because someone doesn't like you doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. They just don't like you, or they're not a fit for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's probably the most powerful message you can get with this. I sort of knew that there was something I could have said to him that might have been able to flip him over and get him to maybe change his mind, or at least kind of nudge him. But I chose a strategy where I just empathize instead. Instead of being like this hammer trying to say, oh, you need to do this, I just decided to listen. I decided to share my experience and decided to connect them in that way. And maybe I can change his mind, but I'm not going to force it. And why do I not want to force it? Because when you force stuff like this, especially when there's a lot of anger and emotion, or just not even anger, just a lot of emotion, right? It's so easy to just want to, it takes a lot out of you, and sometimes it requires so much energy. It's like investing like $1 million for like 0.1% return, right? Or something like that. You're investing money for a very small return. That's basically what it is. I could have got a big payoff maybe, and maybe get them to switch, but ultimately that's not the kind of trainer I am. I don't want to train people that don't want to be trained. I don't want to motivate people that don't want to be motivated. You know, if you're going to show up, that's enough for me to motivate you and push you. But at the same time, you know, I think that's what's really important. The main message is that, you know yourself, understand, have a good sense for, you don't have to understand yourself 100%, but understand why you do things and be okay with it. Because ultimately that's going to show a lot in everything that you say and do, because I basically just describe swagger. I did basically describe confidence. In a way, I don't give a fuck, but I actually do care, but I care in my way. And I think that's the one thing you can take from this is that, you know, even though I got fired from my client, even though he doesn't want to train anymore, I'm convincing him to train with somebody else, you know, do martial arts instead. And there's nothing wrong with it. You know, again, it's just, I think I've just gone too far. I think I've explained everything I needed to explain. I hope you learned something from this. Click like if you haven't already. Subscribe to my emails if you like to get emails from me. And I'll see you guys on the next video.